Right, we are live. Welcome back then to House of Racing Tier 2. And we are here for the final race of Season 10 here in Tier 2, here at Las Vegas. And we've actually got everything wrapped up coming into today. We've got the drivers and the constructors sorted as of last week. So congratulations to Hugo and Mercedes, who've won the drivers and the constructors respectively. I think last time out, Hugo wasn't necessarily expected to win, but he managed to get it across the line and actually had a brilliant performance in Abu Dhabi with other people falling apart all around him, really. Managed to have a nice, comfortable race to bring it home in P2 and then win it on track after awkward. Yet again, missed out, unfortunately, on a win, so he came home second. Hugo won the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix to give him his second win of the season, so he broke the different winner streak as well. So that's the first man to win 2 times this season. Crazy though, in a race of 10 seasons we had 8 different winners in a row. Just shows how competitive this season has been. And then in the constructors, another good result for Mercedes meant that they were able to get it across the line after both Aston Martins had a bit of a stinker. So that means Mercedes were able to get it done. They're sat on 212 points, Aston Martin on 162, so they're coming into this weekend with a 50-point gap. But even if it was close, it doesn't really make much of a difference, as Aston Martin, both of their drivers aren't here, and both Mercedes drivers aren't here, that worth saying. So all attention is down below, really, in terms of the fights. Racing Bulls on 1, 3, 4, they realistically seem to be fixated now on P3. So we just watched Cam's come across the line and he puts it up into P5. But yeah, realistically, Racing Bulls will stay P3. McLaren are in P4 on 92 points. Alpine are on 82, so we could potentially have a little switch there. I think McLaren are just trying to hold on to that 4th place spot. I think they'll be fine. Realistically, it's that fight between Alpine and Ferrari then. 82 points for Alpine, 81 points for Ferrari, so that will be where our focus will be on, realistically. Red Bull on 69, Williams on 69 as well, so we could have a shift down, but that is for 7th and 8th, so I don't know how much we really want to focus on that. In terms of the drivers, Hugo's obviously won it, he's on 138 points. Finn is tucked up behind him on 90 points, so he's the closest. 3 points ahead of Aiden, so Finn realistically will finish in the runner-up positions. Aiden on 87, Slick on 74, unfortunately not here today. Same with Jono as well on 73, and same with Jamaican Jam and Awkward. So we go all the way down to 8th place in the standings with MOZA, who's next on track. So, I mean, if MOZA has a good race, he might shoot up the order. I mean, he can get as high as 4th with a good result, considering no one else above him is racing. But worth saying, MOZA, grade it on your screen there. It's because he does have a qualifying ban after another little incident in quali that he's been he had the book chucked at him, realistically. So yeah, I mean, realistically, not that many things can change here in Tier 2, but here for bragging rights, really, and bragging rights only. That's Finn, who is runner-up currently and looking to stay there. Currently setting the market down with 31, K1 close behind him on the point 2. Alex said, what are the standings in F1? Yeah, I can, to be fair, we'll have a quick look, considering it's only quali here. So, 1 race left in Tier 1. We've got Camper leading the way on 125, and then Clipsy 119, and then Paul on 101. So that's the fight, realistically. 1 race left, so we'll see how things go. Anyone's money. Clipsy, Camper, outside chance of Paul, yeah. 6 points in it, so yeah, we'll see. In terms of constructors, very open for constructors in Tier 1 as well. Alpine 173, Williams 169, Haas 133. So, but yeah, we'll see what happens. Alpine, I don't know. They're in the ascendancy at the moment, and they've probably been consistent across the season. So, you'd imagine Alpine probably are favourites going into the final race. But yeah, I think Constella's looking after you lads later. So, tune in for that, and hopefully you have a good race to end things off. You'll be spotting me. I'd have a stinking one. But yeah, back to Tier 2 then, and we'll watch a couple more laps come in. We've got mainly people coming into the pits, got a few on their out laps with 10 minutes left on the clock. A lot of drivers yet to actually set times, as Cruisen is on a lap just coming to the end of Sector 1. Been a bit of a revelation here in Tier 2. He had a couple of, obviously joined within the season. He wasn't obviously on the grid to start off Season 10. And showed good pace in several races, but just always seemed to be involved in an early incident that kind of nullified his pace. So we didn't get the full picture. So I think it's only realistically me and Reese on comms that I've been able to fully see what he can do. I think a lot of people at the front probably don't even know he existed. But obviously got the win. Let's see, when did he last get a win? Cruisen did win in Bahrain. And I think he started in the back last week, but didn't end up getting anything of, well, he still got a P5, but I think he would, I mean, in terms of raw pace, he was looking very good for a, to get a pole position and probably to win the race. I mean, he's just showed what kind of pace he had in Tier 1. I think he qualified 4th place in Abu Dhabi Tier 1, 4th, 5th, something along those lines. And I think he ended up getting good points as well, so just showed how quick Cruisen can be. Cruisen obviously holding seats in Tier 1 and 2 for now anyway. I think it's not true even him, like just having severe internet issues. I'm just reading back at the chat. But hopefully we can get him in. He can ask for another invite. Yeah, I'll ping you one now. If he's showing online. Yeah. Pamelo coming down the back straight. We'll see what one of the Ferraris can do. Obviously both Ferraris are yet to set a time, so we'll see what Palmer can do. Cruisen's invalidated 2 of his times. Says, oh, Palmer goes very, very deep. But we'll get a time in a valid time. What can Palmer do? Currently sat P10 without a time. Hops up to P7 with a 32.5. Massive field spread currently as well. Been still leading the way on a low 31, but I mean, 7th place, that's 1.4 seconds just within that space alone. So we'll see if that tightens up as we go into the final 1 or 2 runs. As Matej then finds nearly 4 tenths, goes up to P5, so good improvement for him. Got an Aston Martin coming around the final corners. Who's that? It's that Alaba just about to start a run, I think it is. And then we've got a Haas outside the Apalisa, who was Aaron Panda, moved on to PC, so he's changing, showing up as a different name, but still a full-time driver that we are aware of. Got a lot of reserves in today though, worth saying. We've got Alabuk, who's raced with us several times before, same with Matej. Cam Scott had a very good race in his one and only race. He got podium. Where did he get a podium in? I scroll back through. Is it Mexico? Oh, Cam Scott got a podium in Silverstone. So the one and only race that Cam Scott has done, he has bagged a podium. So one to watch potentially. Ferro Gods as well, we are aware of him. LTR Phoenix as well, obviously used to be in a full-time seat but got moved aside due to poor attendance, so we'll see what he can round off the season doing. So nice to see a couple of familiar faces here on track. That Chrome McLaren is a nice one. It's very interesting that the game actually allows you now to run 2 different liveries. So you've got both McLarens there, literally running in tandem, both using different liveries. I mean, I don't really see why that's on a online lobby, but hey. We'll quickly flick back to, is that Alabuk that's just about to finish his time? Nope, coming into the pits. Obviously messed up his time somewhere, so still got time to do one more, but yeah, we'll keep that in mind as Starkey gets his time in, goes all the way up into P5, so Haas running well here, P1 and P5. I think they're, if I'm correct in saying, they're bottom of the constructors, yeah, currently on 35 points, so would need a big result here to claw them off the foot of the table. but we'll see. Obviously very promising start anyway for them. Talking about the Haas boys, we've got one coming to the line, but the time is invalid, so Aaron will be coming into the pits. Got both McLarens now coming round the final corners. Hopefully there's no towing involved here. They're very close, but they're not, I mean, they're not people that know each other, so hopefully there's no tows, etc. involved in any dodgy business. LTR Phoenix goes up to P11. Cam Scott finds a bit of time, I think, to move up to P6. Or is he? Yeah. Don't know if he was P6 or he has just finished the time anyway, but yeah, he is P6 currently. Who have we got next up to the line? Is that Finn just starting a lap there? Yeah, Finn did hold provisional pole for a lot of this session. Tags the wall there. But we'll see if he has any improvement through Sector 1. Only a small gap up to Aaron Panzer, who's on provisional pole with a 31 flat. Finds a little bit of time in Sector 1, so it could be on for Finn. As this lap goes on, just needs to make sure he doesn't invalidate. Very heavy on the curb riding there. Goes a bit wide there. Going to compromise this line there a little bit in the exit, but nice and tidy so far anyway. Randy comes make or break corner coming up now. Can he keep the speed around? How much curb does he take? Takes a lot of curb, but keeps it out of the wall most importantly, and has kept his pace really similar across the first sector. Finds another 7 milliseconds. Here he goes then down the long back straight. Might actually snag a little toe here off the McLaren up ahead. Is that McLaren Ferrari? Yeah, both the McLarens just up ahead. Gets a bit toe. They do move out his way though, but round he comes, tags the curb again, fully rides the second one, and through he goes. So we'll get a nice valid time in. But he's coming into the pits, so obviously wanting one more final run. Obviously lost a bit of time or was marginal in his gains, so choose not to finish his run. A lot of people still in the pits, ready to come out for their final run. So we have got Dalton come to the line. Where can he slot it in? P9 currently with a 32.2. Any improvement? Yeah, a bit of improvement, nearly a 10th for Dalton. Moves up to P7. So next up really is Pharaoh Gods, who's already bailed out. Choosing, they're low on fuel, so that, well, realistically that's Pharaoh Gods done then on the 33.1. Don't think there will be enough time to come back around and do another lap, so that's it for the reserve driver in the Aston Martin car. So all attention really turns to Matt, who's the only man on track on the time. So we'll see what the Williams can do. Had a very patchy season really in terms of attendance and performance really, so hopefully he can end on a high. Out to you get this corner. Tags a bit of curb, a lot less heavy on curb usage compared to what Finn was choosing to do. No time on the board currently though, so it's going to be one and out for Matt here, so we'll see how far up the order he can climb with this one lap. Just needs to keep it valid through these last couple of corners. How much curb does he use? Tags the curb, keeps it nice and valid though, so we'll get a time on the board. Tell the line then, where can Matt put it? 16th currently without time. How high can he climb? Goes up to 12th. Respectable. So won't be started completely at the back, so not too bad. Pharaoh Gods will be next up, but obviously messed up his time or bailed out. And is low on fuel, so I don't think he's going to get another bite out of the cherry. Yeah, coming into the pits, so that will be him done. Flick through the cars and see who we've got next realistically further along. I think it is Matej on screen currently that is the furthest along, just as we see Jatin pull out of his way to not impede. Round comes Matej then. Interesting to see how much curb everyone is using around here. Flicks off, gets a good exit there though and finds a 10th, so Matej is up on his time. And you just look how close a couple of cars are around him on the 32.1, so this could move him all the way up to P7 if he gets a nice little run down to the line. 34 seconds there, so everyone will be on their last laps here. Where can Matej slot it? He's currently in the top 10. Oh, rides that curve a bit heavy, but again, keeps it clean, keeps it out of the walls, just what you need to do. So where can the reserve driver put it? P9 as he stands. If he keeps that time through there, we'll find some improvement, and he does move up into that gap, up into P7, so nicely done. As the Ferraris and Cam Scott and Jatin all come around to start their final run, so we'll flick along to see who we can catch. Dalton, I think Dalton's on a lap, not much ERS left, but we'll have a little bit out the final two corners. Big slide though on the curb as the checker flag does wave then, so final time's coming in. Farraghod's 13th at best, only can drop down 2 positions, but I think Nitro will get time in. I think Nitro is on track. Dalton finishes, doesn't find time on the final run. Nitro next up, where can Nitro put it? One and only time, puts it P7, not too bad. Darky is next up, showing low on fuels, plenty of ERS left to burn to the line, so nice ERS management done on his part. Where can he slot it? Currently to P6, can it get any better for the Hazman? It can, all the way up to P3. Very solid time. Next is going to be K1. Can K1 find any time? He does. Provisional pole then for K1. It's got nearly a 10th on Epalista, who's coming into the pits. LTR Phoenix moves up to P11. Who have we got next up then? It's going to be Alabuck next up. Oh, tries nearly invalidates there. Goes P6, no improvement, but it's Finn who finds even more time on his final run. Goes up to provisional pole then, enters the 30s. We've just got the Ferraris up next then. Palmer, where can Palmer put it? P12, any improvement for him? Does, goes up to P8. Cam Scott goes P7. It's Cruson on a time as well. Cruson to the line, finds a bit of time, moves up to P4. What? Where is Matic? Has Matic got any time? No, Matic is done. So that's it done then. Here in the season finale is going to be Finn, who's P2 overall in the standings, then your highest ranked man on track today. And he is getting that extra point for pole position. The only man in the 30s, 30.8 for him. 31.001 for K1. Thought he had it, but nipped at the death for pole. Aaron Panda, another good qualifying for him, puts it P3. Cruiser P4. Darky said he wasn't happy with his quality times, but started in a very respectable P5. Alabuck 6th, nice job for the reserve man. Jatin P7, Cam Scott P8. Nitro, even though he had the severe internet issues, has managed to put it P9, so not too bad. Palmer P10, and then outside the top 10 it is Matic, Dalton, LTR Phoenix, Matt, and then we'll have a quick look through once we get the full order on screen. Right, let's have a little flick through. So out of the back then, Farraghod's your slowest man on track. Unfortunately, just couldn't get that final good run in, having to bail, and then didn't have the fuel to go around again. And then MOZA starting from the back, P16 with a quali ban. So we'll see what he can do from last. Or can he do it last first? I think he tried to do that last week, but didn't quite work out for him. Showed incredible pace in the early stages of Abu Dhabi, and I think he was already up like 8 places on the first lap or something like that. So we'll see if he can do something similar here today. Worth reminding everyone, obviously, that it is a mandatory 2-stop. So if anyone's trying to do anything mad, we'll see how things go. Hopefully no one gets disqualified. Oh, Dalton said that he'd be starting in the top 10. Pain. In Dalton we trust. Imagining a fair amount of people, everyone will be on the mediums to start, but we'll wait and see while everyone picks their strategies and gets ready to go. Hugo saying Finn win. I mean, 2/10 gap back to P2. It's looking good for it, but 5 red lights are showing, and we are away here in the season finale. And K1 gets an awful start, already gets pipped down into turn 1 by Aaron, who manages just to tuck it in behind Finn round. We got a V-carb off track round the back. And K1's going to lose a bit more time as well, as Cruson gets very aggressive with him. round the right-hander. K1 drop all the way down to 6th. He started on the front row, down to 6th then for the Red Bull man as Palmer goes for a big dive down the inside of Cam Scott, but keeps it nice and clean. Everyone keeping out the barrier so far, nice to see. And Darky, I don't know what's happened to Darky actually, but Darky's all the way at the back. So he went from a P5 start saying, you know, respectable start, and 11 positions down midway through lap 1, so I mean we'll have to wait and see what's happened there with Darky, but not looking good. So hopefully he sees it out and doesn't call it quits too early. Plenty of time for things to unfold here in this race. And I wonder if Aaron's going to go for an early move to try and take the lead here. We'll get the tyres on to see what people are doing. Everyone is on the mediums then as predicted, apart from LTR Phoenix, who has opted for the hard start. So we'll keep an eye on him to see how the race flips around for him as it goes along in the stint, to see if he can work wonders on an alternate strat. But as the McLaren gets very deep through there, hopefully he didn't hit the wall. Lost a bit of momentum, but seems to be alright. Everyone's still in the train. MOZA's potentially the break in the train. He's already up 5 positions though, as he's looking to see if he can get his drive of the day under his belt. So Cam Scott really out of shape. Whether there's been a collision there, I don't know. Palmer's tried to go down the inside of him and he's fully round, so I think that was a collision. I think Palmer's misjudged his braking zone and clipped the back there of Cam Scott. We've got a yellow flag further back. Is that still Palmer? It is. It's a collision back there. I don't know whether that was an yeah, Dalton's missing a wing. We must have a VSC. We do. We have got a VSC. Not showing properly on track, but yeah, Dalton fully without a wing. That looked like someone had an illegal overtake, and then it was just misjudged, and then someone's just rear-ended the driver ahead. I mean, we're waiting to see if that ends up in a ticket, which realistically it will, or you'd hope it did, but they're waiting for it to go back to green light running. People just need to obey the delta. Dalton getting very keen here. Just needs to pay attention to the delta and not, I mean, he easily could have got a 10-second penalty for those couple of laps, but yeah, people getting very keen now. Fingers on the trigger, getting ready for the restart. I don't know what happened to Farrah Gods and all that, as well as we are back to green running. There's a bit of a collision behind, I think, between Palmer and Farrah Gods. Just saw a bit of debris flying around as Dalton passed again, and in need of a new wing. We might have a bit of action happening here. Down the inside, Nitro goes on Darky. They're going to go side by side through one of the tightest corners of the track. Nitro has to take avoiding action, but Darky does keep the position as he's trying to fight back up to the points. Already back to P11, so not too bad for him. Yeah, Hugo stating as well. And also finding more time around that VSC up to P7. Trying to do his last burst. Massive gap up ahead though with all that chaos that had happened around I imagine that's literally what caused the VSC. There was a collision around Cam Scott and Palmer that sort of started it. So 5-second gap, so we'll see if MOZA can carry this train back up to the back of K1. We turn our attention to the front now. I haven't really paid too much attention to them so far, but we'll see if Finn is under any trouble as Farrah Gods gets a penalty. Penalties aren't properly showing up for me. It's speeding at the pit lane now, I imagine that's pain. But we'll see. Can Finn fend off the cars behind on this run? Aaron's choosing to burn, so we'll see if fancies anything down into the tricky left-hander. I think he's going to be fine. Yuko wants penalty points. To be fair, we should probably actually find out some use of penalty points in apart from just highlighted messages. Free race win. Got to move actually towards the back as K1 gets past Alabuk, who's obviously had a bit of a dodgy run out of the final corner. So K1 trying to make up for lost time. But I'll have a quick look at position gains and losses as well. And it is K1 up at the front. That's the big loser, really down 3. Jatin with a good start as well, up 3 positions. Alabuk staying where he is. MOZA as we've said, having a very good start as usual, up 9 positions. Darky down 3, so he's recovering well though, because he was P11 just a couple of laps ago, and he's already back up well into the points. Matt running well as well, up 5. And the big loser really is that collision between Palmer and Cam Scott, meaning the McLaren reserve driver is down 6th. So not ideal for him. A couple of the cars at the back obviously already serving their one of their 2 mandatory pit stops, although damage is involved, so I don't know how useful that is going to be in terms of any alternate strat. Clipsy wants a gambling system, I think. Not sure about that one, pal. Plus Darky goes a bit wide though, stays at the wall, but he's going to have Matic all over the back of him, so we've actually got to move towards the front. As Cruisen looks to try and put the burners on and see if he can make a charge for the lead. And Boss is in the chat, mate. Get the fucking race. Pro's on track. We've got a yellow flag towards the back as well. Is that Darky round? Darky's in the wall. I wonder if that's going to be him calling it a day. No, he's coming into the pits. I mean, he needs to change his wing, missing end plates on both sides. Interesting that it's been a while. That's the first VSC we've had in a long time. Oh, and there's a collision towards the front. Jatin and Cruisen. It's Jatin and Aaron in the wall. So I think Jatin just squeezed him on the outside, didn't give him a car's width, and both of them, I mean, he's still in the points, but they've just joined that train now with MOZA adrift now at the front. Aaron's in a bit of a worse situation, if anything, because he's in no man's land by himself in 5th. But oh, wow, big incident there at the front, meaning we're even more adrift towards the front here. In just the 4 cars now, K1's making up a couple of places here, just trying to dodge the chaos and make up the positions you lost off of the launch. Darky 4.3 seconds off the back of the pack of the other cars that have also pitted for damage, so not ideal, but at least he has got cars in sight, so not the end of the world for Darky yet. P16 currently on track though, but with 20 laps to go, so it's K1 nearly has a massive incident there, and then he sends him into the wall, but catches the snap. Things are very close still, and yeah, I mean, it's what Boz has said as well about impossible driving anything without DRS. Is look at the gap between Aaron and Alibek in P4. The gap is just growing currently as well, as Jatin is in the pits. I wonder if that's for damage or that's a little undercut attempt. I mean, we are entering the pit window, lap 6. I think Jatin's trying something here, so we'll keep an eye on him. Coming a lap ahead of all of these lads anyway, so we'll see if Jatin's pulled a little masterclass here and can try and project himself back into the front 5 or so. I mean, it's literally just a car park, isn't it? It's just straight on. As Finn actually gets a penalty up in front, I imagine that's a 3-second penalty. Nothing popping up on our screens here, but yeah, it is a 3-second. First man to get a 3-second as well, which will race the leader, so big implications towards the front as Christian slides through a tricky little corner there, coming down onto the back straight. Lucky to not catch the car ahead of him or go into the wall, but keeps it clean. We've got another yellow flag. Who's that towards the back? We've got Dalton in the wall. Oh, makes slight contact with the wall. Whereabouts is Dalton parked up here? Oh, he's gone deep as well, so whether he's had a similar incident to what we've seen. But Cruisen then, just as we flick back, takes the lead of the race. ERS none on the exit means Finn drives into the back of him. And then Finn's been mugged as well by K1, who's put the burners on to fly past him. So Finn, all in the space of 2 corners, loses 2 positions. He's going to try and hang it around the outside of K1 though, but loses another position. Round he goes. K1 back up to where he started. Alibek though, worth saying, having a very solid race, sat here, avoiding all the chaos, dodging everything around him, and he's signed P4, so Very solid drive yet again from the reserve. I mean, I think he was eyed up for a seat earlier on in the season, but I think he was going on holiday for 2 weeks around that time, so it didn't make any necessary sense to chuck him in when he was about to be absent. But showing why he's got more than enough potential for the grid. Permission for you to host these. Alex, you've got to be in the league for that, mate. Aaron losing even more time though. That gap was around 3 seconds and he's now up to 4.3, so it's what MOZA was saying. Gap's just impossible to bring down when you're separated from the train, so the only thing really that he can deploy really is a little tyre strategy if he fancies coming into the box a lap or two early before all these guys up ahead. I mean, it's lap 7, they could come into the pits at this point. Do we see the leaders come in? We'll have a look at what Cruisen is doing. Makes it very obvious that he's coming into the pits as well. So the race leader comes in. Does he speed in? I don't think he does. And it's Apalista in next up as well. Follows him in. Same with MOZA. What does Nitro choose to do? Stays out. Matt will be next up. In he comes. So we're fully into the pit window now, so we'll keep an eye on the exit. We'll see if anyone make it over the line. Round comes Cruisen. I think he kept that in. Where's Aaron coming out? Where is Jatin in relation to all this? I mean, Jatin's come out right behind the man that had had a little incident with him. But he's got 2 more laps on his tyres, so we'll have a see. Yeah, you are right then. It didn't pop up at the screen because it said he was pitting, but yeah, Cruisen, I imagine that's going to be a 10-second penalty. 10-second penalty for Cruisen that joins Barra Gods as well with a 10 seconds. I feel like this battle could get a bit spicy in a couple of laps if Jatin can close it down. Got the tyres up to temp, so can just go full throttle. Might even snag DRS here. He's pushing for it. I wonder if that's going to give it. He's literally on the cusp there of DRS. Depends on when the detected point is. Oh, captures the wall though with his rear tyre. Lucky to not have any huge impact of that. I don't think he's got DRS. I know the detection point is late down here, but no. Jatin just misses out, and he's got MOZA for company right behind him as well. Both got no ERS though. They're just getting very close towards the front. Finn is in though. Finn and Alabak are in. So we'll see where these guys are. And we've got a car in the wall again. Is that Darky in the wall? Darky in the wall again. Further back. Finn and Alabak coming out the pits there. How far ahead are they? Just coming around now. Aaron coming round the first couple of corners, and the gap's sitting at 3.9, so I mean, it's K1's chose to go a bit long on this stint, but got another. Darky's in the wall again. Darky and Dalton have had a little collision here. I don't know what's happened there, but Darky really in the walls here. That's the 4th time I think he's been off, so I wonder if he's just going to call it quits. Painful race for him and Dalton. Dalton was looking for points, but I mean, 15 wing change, collision. I mean, it's not looking good at all, is it? I think this is going to be Darky calling it quits in the pits. We'll flick away and let him do it in peace. Yeah, Darky out of this race then. And out of the session, so unlucky to end the season in that way. Wonder if K1's still choosing to go on. Done 9 laps on these mediums as it is. LTR Phoenix already off of the hards as well. That's something worth noting. Was the only man to go on onto the mediums, only man to start on the hards, I should say. So the only man to do that strategy. Thought he may potentially try and take the hards a couple of laps longer, just to try and give him a bit of an offset, but no, doesn't think about doing that this time around. We'll quickly have a see if any new penalties are popping up. No, nothing currently. Oh, Dalton not happy in the chat with Darky. He was docked in 24 seconds of drift, so very painful experience. For the final race as well, not something you want to see on your last race of the campaign. Just want to end things on a high, but not looking to be the case for the Alpine driver. Things could get a bit spicy towards the front here now as well. Jatin passed by MOZA and dropped by MOZA, we're seeing, as MOZA looks to move up into the top 5, but we'll pay attention to this sort of scrap here between Finn and Alabuk. Finn obviously with a penalty next to his name. So I think realistically, I mean, when you look at the gaps, Alabuk has a very good chance of winning this race. I mean, it all depends on what K1 does in terms of his strategy, as K1 was in that front pack, but he's chosen to offset himself quite heavily. So I think Finn's going to go for a move here. Yep, easy move up the inside then. K1 goes up. Someone tell K1 he has to do 2 stops. I'm panicking. But yeah, through goes Finn. Let's see if Alabuk can keep track of him as well and just follow him round. As then MOZA then gets past Aaron as well, so moves up into the top 5. Jatin in the pits already. I wonder. Oh, Jatin's got damage. He's missing both end plates, so I don't know what's happened to Jatin. Again, yeah, Jatin caught it quits from P7. I mean, it's painful, but more damage for however he's done that, whether he's clipped the wall coming into the final couple of corners. But again, a painful end to the season. Jatin has had a very up and down season, so it's painful to see him end in that way, but oh, he was lagging out, that's pain. Good scrap here happening for P7 between Nitro and Matej. Nitro just getting the rub of the green there through the DRS sector, just beats him to the line, so he was behind, I think, going into the detection point, so he's able to snag him and is trying to just leg it on his new hard tyres. Good mix now in terms of strats as we're on board with Matej as he picks up his 3-second penalty. Jatin, please get more better internet when you're back next time. We need you to cook. I imagine Matej is going to go straight back past him, but we're flick actually up to Alabuk, who's right up behind Finn. Doesn't get the move fully. No, just does not get it stuck in the end. K1's finally in the pits. So here we go. We'll see where K1 slots in, just in the box now. So I mean, yes, I imagine he's going to be miles behind. I mean, he's at least clear behind the front 3. I mean, he's going to be in the battle for P5, and MOZA and Aaron are coming around now. He's going to be behind. He's on massively fresher tyres, but he's adrift to the front pack. I mean, going long, I don't see this paying off in a track like Las Vegas. Going to choose to burn his ERS to try and get straight past Aaron. He needs to get this to stick if he wants to try and push up, and he's not got the tyres warmed up to trust the late braking move. Nitro like that again. Oh no. Sorry, lads. Very close again between Alabuk, so we'll flick back up to Alabuk to see if he can make a move stick all over the gearbox of Finn, who's choosing to maybe try and save a bit, but Alabuk's got a full tank of battery to burn and try and leg it down the road after Crusoe, and he's 2.7 with a penalty, worth saying. He does have a penalty, but DRS activated now. Alabuk choosing to flick his DRS on. I don't understand why they've shortened the DRS activation zone for this track. It doesn't seem like you actually get enough DRS usage. As Alabuk then gets the move done up into P2. K1 still stuck behind this duo, but his tyres will now be up to speed and warmed up, so we'll see if K1 can make any progress up towards the podium. He needs to make a move stick in the next couple of laps if he wants to get any shot on the podium. And I mean, there's a 5-second gap between MOZA and Alabuk, so he needs to get busy. Gets another good run out of this corner. It's going to be in the exact same situation as he was last time, except this lap Aaron doesn't choose to fight it, so I think K1 is going to get that move to stick. Yeah, up into P5 K1 goes. Nice move for him. Nice move and an important move. Nitro's back in. Welcome back, pal. And MOZA choosing to try and save his DRS though. I mean, realistically, if K1's going to burn, he's going to fly back past him. I imagine K1's going to get past him. So that Aaron behind can get moved on MOZA as well. How much of a sitting duck will he be? Choosing to burn very early on. It's going to be 3 wide down the straight. Very close race in there. Gets ahead of the things early. Catches K1 slightly napping as they both get past MOZA. He's got a bit of ERS to burn. He's going back past him. It's going to be 3 wide going into the tight left-hander. And MOZA choose to go down the inside. Apalista, the burning of ERS early did not catch him. Well, it did not actually work out for him really at all, did it? Initially moved up to P4, but when the DRS activation point came around, K1 managed to shoot back through to take P4, and then MOZA as well, even though he didn't even have DRS, used his battery well to then get back up to P5. I've already put a nice little gap actually on Aaron. Whether Aaron is choosing to try and burn, I don't know. Whether he's maybe having a little sit back lap, but he needs to be careful here actually. He doesn't get dropped. But, I mean, the pair of them. I mean, K1 has put the burners on this lap, and he's actually dropped up. I don't know if he's going to be able to pull away, and MOZA's got a lot of battery to play with. But I think K1's actually done enough to break detection. And Apalista though is too far back, so all of a sudden this trio is within the space of a lap become really separated. It's gone from being 3 wide down into the tight left-hander at the end of this straight to then no one having DRS. The difference that a single lap can make. Further back, Cam Scott as well, right on the back of Palmer at the wheel. Watch this down as well to see if Cam Scott can get a run down on Palmer. Things incredibly stable up towards the front as well. Crusoe will serve his penalty though in the pit stop. That's one thing about a 2-stop is if you get a 10-second penalty, you can't then try and get that removed if you want to come into the pits. Well, you have to come into the pits to serve your second stop. At that point, you will serve 10-second automatically. The game will serve that for you. That's Cam Scott, I think that was, yeah, just a bit hesitant on the throttle around there. Lost a bit of time in his pursuit of Palmer up ahead. As we'll turn our attention back to this, well, what is that? Arguably, I mean, it's not arguably, with Crusoe with this 10-second penalty, this is the fight for the win. Alabak having a tremendous race, it must be said. I don't think anyone really expected him to be in the fight for the win. So we have another look at the position gained. Up 3 positions. Crusoe up 3, but that 10-second penalty is going to shoot him down the order. MOZA up 11, but is relatively stuck in this fight, just off the cusp of the podium. Matic up 4 as well, good race from him. Overdue, it must be said. I think Matic just showed sparks across the season of showing good pace, but it just hasn't materialised really. Farragut's up 3 positions as well, and 2 retirements though. As Alabuk does get the move stuck, he's got a narrow line though into the left-hander and sent him deep, meaning Finn's going to be all over the back of him in the run down to turn 1. Not much ERS to use though. Finn in an attempt to shoot back past him, and no, Alabuk will maintain his P2 as Crusoe's in. Crusoe is finally in, so Crusoe serving his 10-second penalty as well, sitting in the box. Where is this going to send him? I mean, I'm looking at this fight behind. K1's lagged out. K1 is on PlayStation, so he should hopefully be able to get back in. I'll send him one anyway to try and get him back in, just to make sure he does get back in. I'm proud as you are not racing. Crusoe though, it's going to be close between him and Matic, Palmer and Cam Scott. I think he should be fine. I mean, that looked like a clear pit lane cut though from Crusoe. There'll be a lot to review at the end of this race, I would think so. For pit cuts, I'll have to dip into that and have a see. But P6 running in no man's land really at the moment for Crusoe, but has served his second pit stop, so keep that in mind. K1 as well, lost heaps of time really, hasn't he? Lost the position to MOZA, 1.5 adrift. I mean, if he's back in, just in now, but needs to actually get control of his car and hopefully can close the gap up to MOZA. His AI may try and even pit him this lap. I mean, that's 69 laps to go. So we actually have more movement up towards the front of Finn. Whether he defended that, oh, it goes very deep there, sticks out the wall somehow. He's going to have Alabuk all over his rear though. Alabuk looks to be coming into the pits actually. Yeah, he does. He's choosing to try an undercut attempt on Finn. Can he get it slowed down in time? Yes, I think he does. I mean, we'll double check. Obviously don't have the graphics popping up, but hopefully he did for the sake of the race as well, and for him. Hards until the end for the Aston Martin reserve. Out he comes, keeps it within the lines as well. And MOZA out as well. So MOZA, did MOZA just speed into the pits? He did, yeah, right, okay. Oh no. Poor lad, it's a painful day at the office, mate. To be fair, the gaps that are opening up means I don't think you'll lose too much time, but it's obviously still just dead, isn't it, to get a 10-second penalty. But we're keeping an eye on this then. How clean is Alabuk's outlap? Finn just coming around that tricky little left-hander now to go onto the back straight. Just to see where he can slot into. Is that Dalton lapped? Oh, Dalton's unfortunately been lapped. Farragut's then next man up on the chopping block. Finn has to react then, surely. Surely Finn is going to be in this lap. Needs to minimise the damage as we enter the last 8 laps to go. No, Finn chooses to go on, so trying to create a little tyre offset, I think. I mean, realistically, he's going to have a nice gap to slot into, with a K1, MOZA and an Aaron in that little window behind. So doesn't have to worry about any immediate threat with them still out on track as well. 4.9 seconds back to K1, who's leader of that train, so I think he should be okay on that front. K1, a big gap opening up. I'm very interested to see what happens with MOZA, obviously, who's chosen as well to go for a little undercut on the cars he's racing. So I imagine then MOZA is going to be favourite then to get to the front of that queue, but we'll see when the pit window comes around for the cars up ahead, or when they choose to come in really. I mean, they're in well within the window now, so any time we could see the cars coming in. I mean, we've got a very interesting battle here happening towards the back end on the points. Three-way fight, 22 seconds adrift of the cars up ahead. But Cam Scott, Palmer and Matt Edge, obviously lap one early collision between Cam Scott and Palmer that sent them to the back and brought the VSC out. And they're back into the points, fighting well. 4P7. That looks to be their ceiling obviously today, with a massive gap up ahead to go past the sphere. Clipsy, the sphere looks a bit like you, mate. Now it's Finn. Finn is finally in there. In he comes. I imagine. Is it going to be? Is it going to be softs? No, it's not going to be softs. Is it? Mediums for Finn. 6 laps left. 4 tyres are going on. Yeah, it is the yellow walled tyres. So Finn is on the softer compounds. Alabuk does go past him, so Alabuk comfortably going to be in the lead. I think MOZA is going to have him as well. Yeah, so Finn does have a 3-second penalty as well. Worth saying MOZA does have that 10-second penalty as well. So realistically, I mean, Finn needs to clear MOZA quite quickly. MOZA showing very good pace though. Already 1.4 off the back of Alabuk, so really making this scrap a lot more interesting. Although, yeah, the 10-second penalty is going to kill his race. Drillers here for the biggest hate watch of all time. This is going to be a bigger hate watch than Liverpool versus Atletico Madrid. Right, Finn needs to get past Imposter here now though. Oh, and Imposter's in the wall. Oh, is he in the wall? Somehow keeps it out of the wall, but massive swapper there for Imposter. Finn glides past him and nicks the DRS, but somehow Imposter stays out of the wall there. I mean, his heart was in his mouth. Couldn't have been easier in the end for Finn. He shoots back past him to get into P3. 1.2 seconds up to Alabuck. So let's release Finn to see what he can do now up against the Aston Martin driver. Cruising 2.3 adrift without a penalty, worth being said that even after serving that, he's done very well to put the burners on and catch back up to this. So Cruising not out of this at all yet. K1 still, I mean, K1, I don't know what K1's done here. I think he screwed himself. He went way too long in that first stint. And he's just completely offset himself and he hasn't just galloped down the road and been able to create a window where he can find himself being comfortable in. K1 still has the pit, yeah. He went like 4 or 5 laps longer in the first stint, so he went from being in this front fight to then suddenly being 5-6 seconds further back. And then now that he wasn't in the DRS train, he was just losing residual time. I think it's going to be a what if for a lot of drivers. They obviously Jackson and Aaron were running well, and then they had an early collision. Who knows what could have happened with that gap down to P7 as well. Obviously a collision between Palmer and Cam Scott did open that up early on as well, and then DRS trains just continued to increase that gap in the mid-pack. We can have a move though for the provisional lead. I think we are. Finn gets past Alabuck and Bossa. Is he going to get involved? No, just choosing to sit behind. Not much ERS left to deploy. I think attention is slightly turning to Cruising, see what Cruising can do. If Cruising can bring that gap down. But K1 then, here he is finally into the pits. Going to be miles behind this fight. They're already coming past him and he hasn't even got all the tyres back on his car. Down to the line. Yeah, there goes Cruising as well. I mean, Aaron might even have him. He needs to get out ahead of Aaron if he wants any shot of a podium finish here. I mean, that's still kind of very, very low in terms of odds, but he does at least get that sorted. 4.6 off the back of Cruising. K1's coming to this. Has K1 not changed his tyres? Oh my god, K1. I think K1's... Oh no, K1. I think K1's gone for... I think he meant to go balanced tyres and he's accidentally gone hard. And then he's effectively... Oh no, K1. Bro's going to be in puncture territory. Oh no. K1 has just... Yeah, he's... K1 has just gone on to the old set of mediums that he did the first stint on. Oh no. K1. But flip back to the front though. Finn has... I mean, he's cleared Alabuck here. And Bossa looking to sniff around to see if he can move past him. He's going to need a late braking manoeuvre. I think it's better of it. Doesn't want to ruin Alabuck's race. Considering Bossa does already have a 10-second hovering over his name as well. I don't think we're going to see Cruising really getting involved in this. Gap's 3.8 with 4 laps to go. Just about to tick down to 3. So I think this realistically is for the fight for the win between Finn and Alabuck, with Bossa's pen over his name. Realistically, it's all down to Finn now, whether he can just make the most that he's now cleared the DRS zone, and he needs these two to fight because he needs to create a 3-second window. I imagine he's just got 3, it hasn't got anything more, is he? No. And Boss up to 13 seconds though. Everyone's done their 2 pit stops though, so that's one good promising thing about today. No one gets disqualified. 1.3 seconds. I mean, Bossa, you'd imagine is going to get past Alabuck, but for Finn's sake, he wants them to have a little scrap down into the left-hander at the end of the straight, just to delay the charge a bit longer as Nitro is into the pits. I wonder if is he retiring, or is he maybe going for a little soft run to end the race, just for a bit of fun. End off the season, obviously last race of the season today as well. Once again, congratulations to Hugo and to Mercedes for getting the job done and a race early. So no stress coming to Las Vegas and worrying about getting things sorted. Yeah, Nitro. Onto Sofson, MOZA past Alabuck then. Moves up into P2. Nice little tidy move done for him. 1.5 the gap there. I mean, Finn doing everything he needs to, but I think he's just going to run out of laps. It depends on the raw pace that MOZA's going to have behind him to see if that gap comes down, and then naturally drags Alabuck with him as well. Alex, I'm afraid you want to be racing. We turned down Adams. Is he Adam Sanderson? Unfortunately, he's not even racing today. He was going to, but an invalid sign-up meant that he has been turned away for today. Yeah, look at that gap between Finn and MOZA, already down to 1.4. So MOZA doing very well just to drag Alabuck back into it. Oh, just one turn away. Okay, game's the game. Didn't do the sign-up properly. 1.3, I think Finn's cooked here, I can't lie. I think Alabuck could be a race winner here as a reserve driver. He might put in a little blinded performance here. Is anyone low on fuel down the order? No safety car, obviously. Did have a VSC for the first time in what feels like forever. Alright, Dalton lapped, unfortunately. Poor lad. And look at that, yeah. And MOZA showing his raw pace. A potential what could have been, as he's already caught up and he will be fighting for the win, even though we started out at the back, but a 10-second penalty is just really going to hinder him. One lap to go after this as well. I mean, Finn's done everything right in this race, but he's just going to fall short, isn't he? One thing here that might change proceedings is Alabuck has lost DRS. I think the one thing that's going to save him is MOZA will flick the ERS to none and slow down. It's whether Alabuck can still just hop into his onto his, what they call it, coattails, ride his coattails to glory. 1.4 though, no, he's done there realistically, isn't he? We've got McLaren round at the back. Out to our Phoenix in the wall with damage. Not the return he would have been hoping for. Weird place to spin it, just coming onto the main straight, whether he's flicked off the wall and pinged into the wall the other side. But we're flick. Honestly, we might have some last lap drama here. 1.9 seconds, the gap between Finn and Alabuck. Finn needs to get 3 seconds clearance over the Aston Martin driver and he might have the win here. And make sure he hasn't got another 3 seconds. No, he hasn't. So Finn's still with 3 seconds. The gap is at 2 seconds. It's gone up by nearly a second and a half in one lap. And it's only going to keep going up as long as MOZA doesn't do anything foolish and hinder Finn's chance here. But 2.1 seconds with more trouble. I think he's going to be done. Look at it. It's literally about to be 3 seconds as it is. 2 gap to the army, we could do the maths, mate. It's 3 seconds as it is. And MOZA here just put the burners down. Oh, we do it for you, like, go on. As we enter the final lap then, I thought MOZA was doing Alabuck a favour, but he's put the burners on and he's left him for dead, tagged onto the back of Finn's DRS and he's dragged himself away. Painful for him. Alabuck could have been a fairy tale winner here in tier 2 to round things off, but it looks like Finn's going to have this sorted unless there's any late drama. I mean, you say this, well, I say this, look at the gap on that cusp. It all depends really on if there's much fighting going down into that, well, the last proper braking zone. Look at Perez move. Worth saying, MOZA's been in a situation similar to this before, fighting with Awkward on the final lap where he didn't really need to make a move. Well, Awkward didn't need to make a move on MOZA and MOZA got flicked into the wall. MOZA doesn't necessarily have to make a move as he's got a 10-second penalty, but he's doing it for the love of the game. Up the inside he goes, needs to make sure they don't Finn doesn't need to fight this. Because they're gonna hinder each other. Oh, bang wheels. Have they just done it? They might have hindered each other here. It's going all the way down to 3. He needs a great run to the line here, because otherwise Alabuk's going to snatch it. And Bozza wins it on track, but with this 10-second penalty, what's the cap? No, it's not enough. Them fighting through the final last breaking point is enough to nip Alabuk back into that 3-second window. Oh, and Bozza, I think you fucked him over there. It's completely unnecessary, but I mean, game's the game, but there's no need really for that. Alabuk out of nowhere then still manages to get the win. What a drive from the reserve man. 4 tenths per second. They had it in the bag. Just didn't need to go side by side through the final corners. Even if Finn just... whether Finn just should have backed out? I don't know, but wow. Alabuk then winning the season finale. Finn just misses out after that last lap trouble. Cruising all the way up to the podium positions as well. And Bozza with that 10-second dropped all the way down to 10th. So still not the end of the world, but obviously getting the win across the line, not ideal. Palmer will be P7. K1, I mean, he's finished the race on 16 lap old mediums, so he's had a bit of a stinker there with the tyres. But K1 in the chat as well saying the game's rigged. I mean, that's very pale. I don't understand how that's happened and how it's chucked him on the the used compounds that's already done 10 plus laps, but there we are then for the finale. Tier 2 wrapped up. Interesting final race of the season as well. A brand new winner as well. So regardless of what happens or whether anything goes to Streets Room, I mean, it's game's the game eventually, really. I mean, nothing's really going to come of that, but we do have the first Czech man to stand on the top step of the podium here in HOR. That's now 9 different race winners in 10 races here in Tier 2. I think that says enough as a season. I'm afraid I'm not counting the last person, but you're a cheating prick and you sped into the pits. Enjoy your P5, little bro. But wow, there we have it. Hopefully we get the classification, otherwise I'm going to have a bit of issues. Hopefully someone can clip them if I don't get them. I'll quickly ask for that in the chat. And hopefully someone can quickly just grab that for me. As I don't have the final results, so hopefully there's no late drama. But that is it now done then. For Season 10. All attention now turns to Tier 1, where we've got 1 race left there as well. And things very close. Only 6 points, I think it was, between the leaders. So all that warfare in the final race of the season between Clipsy and Camper. Who's your money on? We'll wait and see. I think Constella will be looking after you in 45 minutes or so. Got a bit of a break. Thank you for everyone that raced. Yeah, thank you, and plus I will enjoy my vacation. Still a little while until I go, but yeah, we will keep an eye for announcements in the league as well regarding season 11. But yeah, thank you everyone that raced. Thank you all that have watched. If you're interested in watching Tier 1, please feel free to stick around. That'll be with you in about an hour. And if not, we will see you for Tier 2 later down the line. Thank you and goodbye.